Initially, high school is when my interest for music even became more, and we used to have a rap group initially. We called it TOS. So we used to have gigs, both secular gigs and gospel gigs. So when we are going for secular gigs, tulikuwa bad rappers. Our name was Thugged Out Sons. Tulikuwa performing stages, secular artists, but also we had gospel gigs. So when you go for gospel gigs, we switch the name. If anyone asks us what does TOS mean, we say to our savior. Initially, high school is when my interest for music even became more, and I got to learn a lot. And before I forget, we used to have a rap group initially, boys. We call it TOS. So we used to have gigs, both secular gigs and gospel gigs. So when we are going for secular gigs, tulikuwa bad rappers. Our name was Thugged Out Sons. Yeah, Thugged Out Sons. Yeah, we used to be myself, a guy called Weezy, and King Kaka, formerly called Rabbit. Tulikuwa performing stages, secular artists, but also we had gospel gigs. So when you go for gospel gigs, we switch the name. If anyone asks us what does TOS mean, we say to our savior. So tulikuwa both sides, na tunaandika rhymes on both sides. So hapo muziki ilikuwa shika. We used to have rap battles at school, and we used to charge I think 20 bob for people to attend the battle, and then there used to be a panel of judges, and I made sure I was one of the judges during those rap battles. Alafu tulikuwa mpaka na bounce. Was that guy called alikuwa anaitwa Jumbe Olumbe. There was a guy called Olumbe once. I don't know. Olumbe, shout out to Olumbe. How bado huko jo? He was alikuwa mbigi hivi, so alikuwa bouncer wetu kwa mlango. So we used to have rap battles. There was a friend of ours called Patrobas. Shout out to Patrobas. He was used to also be one of the rappers, sometimes judge. But most of the time nilikuwa na make sure mimi ndio judge kwa sababu hizo rap battles sikuwa nafanya. Sikuwa na do very well. So we just make sure our favorite person has won the rap battle, because the person who wins the battle takes away all the money that we've collected on the gate. So yeah, so that's how we used to make our money from ECD. So muziki kashika. Remember, we started looking for studios to record. Tukapata jamaa anaitwa Kalvo Mistari. Kalvo Mistari alikuwa kwa group ya rappers, I think walikuwa 3 au 4. Walikuwa sawa mada. So one day tukaenda weekend moja, mimi na kaka mada, tumeenda kurecord ngoma. Tukaenda kwa studio. I can't remember the name of the studio. Tukapata Kalvo Mistari. Kalvo Mistari akatuambia, nataka kila msia rap. Wewe unaitwa nani? Mimi naitwa Kamlesh. Mimi ni rapper kutoka Eastlands. Na wewe? Mimi naitwa Rabbit. Sasa kila msia atoe verse yake, alafu tusikie vile mko. So Kamlesh go first. So nikatoa zangu yo nimetokana na nini. Haya akasema sawa. Kaka katoa yake. Ni mashairi hapo nini. Sika fika time ya verdict. Kalbo akaniangalia akaniambia, bro, yako haiwezi. Sasa fanya hivi, acha na na muziki. Lakini wewe msewe Rabbit, ni wewe uko na idea, wewe kunaenda mahali, wewe tunaweza work na wewe manze. So that ndio ilikuwa my first time nilikuwa heartbroken, or rather my dreams were shattered because of trying out to rap. That's how we started music. So after Form 2, again, because of the challenges we had with my dad being unwell, and no one was taking care of us, I had to drop out of school. So nearly drop out of school initially. School malizanga Form 2. Tukamishwa ocha manze, tukaambiwa you guys have to go back to your up country because we can't afford to have you here anymore. Rather, it was too expensive to maintain. So we had to go back. Na ushago kwetu ni place inaitwa Kimende. Kimende kuna baridi mbaya. So cold. So the first time I remember we moved there, we only had a bed. And it was the bed that my dad was using in my aunt's place. So luckily enough, my shosho had a house made of stone. So we had rooms to sleep in at that point. and we were sharing the house with my cousins. So my cousins had one part of the house and us the other part. So we had 2 rooms, my cousin had 2 rooms. So yeah, so we used to take care of my dad Apple. So I completely dropped out of school. So I was not going to school at all. So from 2 I never continued with school. So I dropped out, and so I started taking care of my dad. We lived in Kimende at that point. It was the most challenging bit of my life, I can say, because 1, you're in an environment where you don't know anyone. Number 2, you have a sick parent and you're also young, so you don't know how to navigate life. I also had my small bro, my late bro Ikinya, who was there. I think your time alikuwa primary school, alikuwa kama class 7 or 6. Luckily enough, Kibaki had introduced free primary school, so he was able to go back to school. So alikuwa naenda shule day by day. But me, I couldn't afford high school, so I had to stay at home. So what I used to do is they used to buy local market apple in Kimende. So once in a while I used to get casual jobs or jobs for carrying sacks. So when guys are flooding their vegetables to sell in the soko, I used to carry those sacks from one place to another. Hizo times kwa bona mikokoteni, nguo na bebeana kwa hizo stalls. They used to sell dry food in bulk. So unapata kama a truck full of flour imekuja. So I used to carry the flour from the truck to the shops. Whenever there was a new building coming up, I used to wash the rooms before people could occupy. I also have washed toilets in bars just to get money to feed my dad. So I used to buy like milk, eggs at some point. Generally food was affordable because people used to grow food and come sell them at the market. So it was not as expensive compared maybe if you're in Nairobi. So with 50 shillings, you used to have good food. I remember there's an aunt of mine, she passed away, her name was Judy. She used to sell cabbages. So once in a while I used to go and mwambie, hey Auntie Judy, si unisaidie na cabbage leo, hata nani mzee akule kitu. So that's how we used to survive. So it was more of borrowing and stuff. Although it was a very, very challenging time. Lucky enough, my sister also joined us in Kimende with my nephew Junior. So they started living with us. So now it was a combined effort. So my sister used to hustle in her own way. I also used to hustle in my own way and used to provide meals for my dad. So that at that point is when now at least there was hope, because now when you have an older sibling in the house and you're young, you get encouragement to move on. But because of my dad's health status, his health was deteriorating day by day. So he came from being a grown person to become a child. What I mean by that, as someone who knows who he is to someone who doesn't know who he is. We used to feed him, we used to wash him, dress him, all those things, until later on when he passed away. So I remember my eldest sister, her name is Wanjiko. She currently lives in Austria. So when my father passed away and I was still out of school, she came and asked me, so what do you want with your life? Because now you're not in school and you can't spend time away alone here, you're going to end up doing other things. Do you want to start a business or what do you want? So I told him I just want to go back to school. So I remember she gave me 9,000 shillings. I went to the local school there. It's called Kimende High School. I met a lady there, teacher, told her my situation. She told me, because you've not done Form 2, and the normal, the rule with the Ministry of Education is, if you're not done, if you're out for more than 90 days out of class, you have to go back to the previous class. So nearly repeat Form 2. So I had to go back. So I gave him the 9,000. I paid it for my school fees. Nikaenda hapo kwa soko nikanunua sweta ya red. I remember I used to wear red and grey trousers. I borrowed one of my dad's trousers that he used to wear when he was working before. And I started school. Luckily enough, I got a bit serious with my life in school. So I was performing a bit well. And I was among the top 3 each and every term. So through God, there was a company called Kabasid that was offering scholarships to students at Kimende High School. And it was offering scholarship for every top student in each stream. So number 1, 2, and 3 in each stream. Mnapatiwa school fees inalipiwa fully. So luckily enough, I used to make sure I'm among the top 3 in each stream. And I got the scholarship. And I think that's where I first met my first mentor in a way. He was the CEO, or rather the general manager at Kabaseed. His name is Stanley Maigacho. I've never said it before, but Stanley, thank you so much for all the support you gave me. You really mentored me and showed me ways of, you know, looking at life in a different, positive way. So Stanley sort of used to advise me in one way or another. They used to be very good friends with my older sister, so once in a while I used to meet him and he used to encourage me a lot. So Kimende, luckily enough, my school fees was paid, and also they introduced this CDF school fees fund, so I used to get a lot of CDF money because I was always on the stream, and also they used to give money to orphans. So I benefited from CDF. The constituency is called Larry, so I used to benefit from it. So all in all, by God's grace, I finished high school, finished Form 4. But then after Form 4, what next? So I was at home and I didn't know now what to do. So I met a friend in Kimende. His name is Sam. Sam was not living in Kimende, but he was living a few minutes away from Kimende, and they used to own a farm. So Sam took me to his father and more or less explained to his father my situation. Sam Bogwa. And the father sort of said he's going to pay for my college. So he told me to go to College of Insurance so that I can get to college and learn about insurance, because I thought maybe that would be the best option for me, because I didn't have enough to afford for campus and all that. So I went to the College of Insurance and I started. So what I used to do is I used to work in their farm. So they used to have many cows. They used to do dairy farming at a high level, and also they used to do flower farming. So what I used to do is I used to work in the dairy sector and also do the flower farming once in a while. So that was my first stint in employment. So as the guy, the dad pays for my fees, I used to work in the farm. So nilikuwa nakamua ng'ombe. Of course they had those machines, but stima ikipotea unakamua ng'ombe na vidole zako. So guys, hata kama unaona naongea English, najua kukamua ng'ombe. I know how to do it. Pia nilikuwa napanda maua. We used to grow flowers called lilies. And I got very interested in flowers. I can tell you the different types of lilies. So so that's how my first stint of employment came to be. And I thank Sam Bogo and the father for giving me an opportunity to go back to school and also, work and get experience in terms of what I do.